10 o'clock news starts now.
Tonight, schoolmates of this 12-year-old boy nervous and afraid after he was arrested, accused of bringing 3 guns to school. And deputies say one of them was loaded. Typically, News4Jax doesn't identify children charged with crimes.
But tonight, given the severity of the felony charges he's facing and the details in the case, we've decided to show you the mugshot of Gabriel Stanford, a student at Lighthouse Christian School in Callahan. He's facing 3 counts of possession of firearms at school. News4Jax reporter Eric Avignon is joining us live outside the Juvenile Detention Center in Jacksonville. Eric, that's where the young boy is being held.
Yes, he is being held here, and that's because Nassau County does not have a juvenile detention center of its own, so kids who are charged with felonies end up at this detention center, the same detention center where, as you said, Stanford is being held on 3 felony counts of possessing a firearm on school property. These are the 3 guns Nassau County deputies say were brought inside the Lighthouse Christian School by 12-year-old Gabriel Stanford, who attends the school. One was fully loaded. Investigators say Stanford told a teacher he brought those guns to school to show them to the principal. His mother told authorities she believes her son may have taken the guns from an unlocked gun safe at home. I got permission from one parent to record an interview with his daughter. She says she knew Stanford. We're not identifying the girl.
It kind of makes a little bit scared, because just thinking that it's he's so close to my age and that it could have happened at my school even, it's just kind of scary to think about it.
And like you said, he hung out or has hung out with a relative of yours before that's around the same age.
Yeah, he hangs out with my cousins sometimes, and I've seen him down here a few times, and I've hung out with him, but I never really talked to him that much.
Although she says he seemed normal, deputies say when school staff searched his desk, they found a drawing of a man outside the school with guns. The man in the drawing was surrounded by several dead bodies covered in red markings to signify blood. I spoke with a woman who knows Stanford and his family. She was visibly upset when we told her about the arrest. She asked that we not show her face.
He's never seemed like, a violent kid. I think he has some troubles, but I wouldn't have ever thought that he had it in him to do anything other than maybe trying to get some attention.
Now, deputies also noted in the report that Stanford recently killed the family dog with a pellet gun while he was unsupervised. The woman I just spoke with, the woman you heard in that story that I spoke with earlier, who knows Stanford and his family, says that she believes in her heart that was an accidental situation in which the dog had run in front of the gun because she said he really loved that animal to death. Reporting live, Eric Avignon, Channel 4, the local station.
Love the dog to death indeed. Shout out to Black Justice for tagging me in this story. That was the audio that you heard. This is actually a screenshot coming from the actual same audio, but I didn't let the video play because YouTube is funny like that, so you never know. But what I'll do is I'll leave the link to the actual news clipping if you want to watch it for yourself, because also in that clip it shows a picture of the guns that he uses. As a matter of fact, let me pause the video right quick so you can actually see what the guns look like. So here's a picture right here of the 3 guns that boy brought to his school. Sorry, I had to pause it right quick. But anyway, that's what I was saying. These are the 3 guns that he brought to school. Now, they said one of them was a pellet gun, and the other 2, well, clearly, the third one, that's a gun that definitely has bullets inside of it. Now, they said one of them was loaded, but they never specified, unless I misheard, which ones were actually loaded. And they said he brought them to school because he was doing this that he wanted to show the principal. You brought 3 guns to school to show your principal, and you didn't think the principal was not going to say anything? Now, mind you, this little demon child is 12. This is him right here. Let me go. As a matter of fact, let me go back to the other picture. Let me see if I can. There it is right here. This boy is 12. You know who else was also 12 when they started racking up these charges? That guy also in Florida, ironically, who killed that guy and his friends who were going fishing. Y'all remember that story, right? I forgot his name, but that just shows you how much lamestream media did not dwell on that story. Just like I'm sure they're not going to dwell on this one either. School just got back started. School just got back started for these kids. And already you have a little Columbine in training about to, prepare. Now, notice in that news clip, and I didn't think they were going to mention it, but I noticed that it was in the description of the video. I was like, I hope they mention it somewhere, where he was talking about how this boy shot and killed the family dog with a pellet gun. And they said they believe that he got the gun from an unlocked safe. That's why if you are a parent and you have a gun in your house and you have small kids, you need to, one, have your gun locked up, have it locked up somewhere. And two, if you have small kids, you need to put it in a place that's high up that they cannot reach. And make sure that they don't see it, because kids are sneaky. Here's the thing. Kids will look at a gun and think that it's a toy. Because in their eyes, it looks like a toy, and it reminds them of the little toy guns that they have. And speaking of toy guns, I talked about this on my live stream this past Friday about the little boy, the 12-year, who was also 12 years old like this boy in Colorado, who had visibly showed a toy gun, and you could clearly tell it was a toy gun. It did not look like any of the guns that you saw in this video that I showed you briefly before. And he has the cops called and sent to his home after his mother receives an email saying, okay, the cops are ready to come to your house. I already notified the resource officer and everything. And he gets suspended from school from virtual learning. Mind you, he didn't go into the school with this toy gun. He had it in his home, and it was still a toy. And you can tell it was a toy. But this boy right here took 3 lethal weapons, firearms, to his school. 3 of them at the age of 12 to quote unquote show to his principal. Now notice that one lady at the end who they let remain anonymous, she was so on code, you can tell. And you can tell she couldn't even really get her story together because she kept stumbling over her words. She could barely get out a simple declarative sentence. And then if you notice how her tone sounded on the last part of her statement, it almost sounded like a form of a question rather than a response or a statement. As if, well, if I say it like this, is there a possibility that he did it, for attention? No, he didn't do this thing for attention. He probably did, but the fact of the matter is he killed his dog with a pellet gun, which I'm assuming was one of those guns. We know it wasn't the revolver that was in that picture. So that wouldn't be hard for him to do. And I thought it was funny that the reporter said that he loved the dog to death. I said, interesting choice of words. He really did love that dog to death, because now that dog is dead and he's the one that's responsible for it. Now, I want to know how long it'll be before lamestream media, because this is local media right here. This is just conducive to Jacksonville or Nassau County. I just want to know how long it's going to take for lamestream media to pick this story up and put it everywhere. Are they going to find a little hole in their schedule to talk about this? Probably not. I won't hold my breath. But, you can always rely on people like myself to bring you this kind of information. Because I bet you I have some subscribers who live in Florida and may live in this area who aren't aware of this story. As far as I know right now, the only people who know about this story are the ones who live down there, the person who sent the story to me, and myself, until this story is put out there and the rest of you know. Now, of course, I'm recording this on September the 12th. It'll be a couple days before the video gets up because of other videos that I have ahead of it. Maybe by then you'll know about it, but something tells me you probably won't.